The new Red Dead Online update this week was, well, it was pretty bad. And personally for me, I've actually been more frustrated with previous weeks so far in the Moonshiners drip feed, but it was very clear in my comments on Tuesday's video. Literally everyone was furious. So with that said, I completely stand by what you all have to say, and I urge you all to submit all your frustrations, concerns, complaints, maybe even some compliments if you have any on the Rockstar feedback page, their official feedback page, and I will leave that link in the description below. But today I want to share with you all what could very well be possibly Rockstar's massive opportunity for Red Dead Online's success in 2020 and beyond. And I posed this question on Twitter: what do you think Red Dead Online needs in order for it to be successful this year? I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you think it's content, fixes, or anything else on your mind. I really wanted to hear from my community, because the awesome folks who continue the dialogue and follow me over on Twitter are the ones tuning into my live streams on Twitch every single day, and I talk with them, if not daily, most days of the week. And I wanted to get answers from people I knew have stuck with the game for the longest time, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of these responses. I'll be adding to them, and hopefully we can use this as a checklist to see what changes Rockstar makes in the near future, in the distant future, and perhaps even further down the line. These are pieces of feedback from some of Red Dead Online's most passionate players, so Rockstar Games better listen up, and if you yourself want to get involved with future discussions, I would love to chat with you. My Twitter handle is @HazardousHDTV, and you can feel free to strike a conversation with me, or even just ask me a question. I am definitely open to it all. But I also want to turn the question over to you guys. What do you think Red Dead Online needs to succeed in 2020? Whatever is on your mind, please let me know. So let's talk about Red Dead Online and the huge opportunities for the game if the developers, but more so the individuals leading the developers, can just take some sort of positive action for the game and for the players playing the game. A Life of Misery says major bug fixes must happen. Animal spawns and disconnects have to be dealt with. We need big PvE content. Red Dead Online needs a jump start, and heists would be the perfect way to do it. Also, domestic properties. Who doesn't want a shack or cabin, apartment, hotel, or any type of room as their base? This is very true. Bug fixes, I think, are a priority for this game, at least in my personal opinion, before any type of content, even though that is still necessary. We can't have all these updates with all these types of bugs that release all the time. They gotta sort out the bugs. Everything is just a buggy mess, and it overshadows any good content that comes into the game, both for veteran players who have stuck with this mess for so long, and also new players who don't necessarily get to enjoy the new content. They just get to get slapped with bugs in the face every single time they boot up the game. Animal spawns are still pretty bad for most people on consoles and even on PC, and of course the disconnections, like Life of Misery says, have to be dealt with. All of these things are great feedback. Johnny Turbo says, I think the game just needs more attention from the developers as far as fixing bugs, like every couple of weeks. Have a legit patch for bugs and glitches. Also, I think it would help if Rockstar, if they were more transparent as well, and it's just so obvious that this game is on the wayside while their other 6.5-year game is still being pushed as their flagship title. Until they fix that problem, it's going to be tough to see Red Dead Online be successful this year, and I absolutely agree. GTA gets all the attention while Red Dead Online seemingly gets none, and even though GTA has a lot more players, it makes Rockstar more money, it makes Take-Two make more money, but Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2 just as a whole is their newest game, and so that should be their priority. And Rockstar is a big enough studio, at least in the gaming industry. Rockstar is one of the biggest, with studios and development teams all over the planet. I don't know why they can't just handle 2 games. It seems like one gets all the attention. Transparency is also one of my biggest things about gaming developers too. I love the way the Call of Duty developers communicate with their fans. Even though they're always complaining about things and there's problems with Call of Duty every single year, the developers have a Trello board for fans to submit feedback where they communicate. They have developer blogs, they have live streams for the community. Rockstar just does none of that. So moving on, we also have Jason Cage coming in and saying proper lobbies that load in correctly, animal spawning fix, better customization like tattoos, more jewelry, hairstyles, more horses, in-depth roles, more story missions, no PvP focus, luxury wagons, Mardi Gras night in Saint Denis, very interesting right there, more fluctuating weather, sticking up citizens without having to kill them, more ambushes, make the honor system matter, increase player bounties when they kill NPCs, and passive income if you complete daily chores such as missions. So these are a lot of particular things, and I like when people can get specific, because Rockstar may not not be thinking necessarily about the specifics. They think of the broad things. They know that people want animals to be fixed or adjusted or whatever. They know people want more PvE content. They know we want heists. They're aware of all those major things, but it's good to get specific, and I like how he's broken it down here. And of course, customization, I think if we're talking about specifics for this game, customization would probably be one of the most important, whether it comes to more customization with horses, more customization with your outfits. I think a huge thing for the game would be if we could just customize the colors of all the clothing. We know that there's a lot of two-tone clothing in the game where you have like a black and red color palette to like a certain jacket or hat, and imagine if you could choose color option 1 and 2 or primary color 1 and 2 for those specific outfits, and the game was structured in such a way and the infrastructure was in place to where you could just have like RGB curves and you could choose if you wanted green and pink to go together or black and white, etc. That would be awesome, and I think we could have that for so many different things: clothing, horses, wagons, etc. You name it, we need to get specific, and I'm glad that Jason brought this up. Now, moving on, we also have a comment from Goddess coming in. She says, "Animals, I can't play this game on PS4 until they fix the issue." This has 5 likes in the response for a reason. It's very true. Animals need to get worked out. Animal spawns were never this bad. Back in beta, the only things really to do were like doing stranger missions and hunting if you wanted to make money in the free roam. And so imagine if there were the amount of animals in the free roam back then like there are now. It would have been unbearable. The game would have completely died out. But ever since Frontier Pursuits, animals have definitely been iffy. So is it a purposeful adjustment from Rockstar? Is it issues with the servers? I think all of these things need to be addressed. Animals is key. There's no animals in the free roam, and it seems like it's a hit or miss for the community. Some person on PC may see no animals, while someone on PS4 sees all of the animals, while also another person on Xbox doesn't see animals for weeks. And it's just inconsistent. It doesn't make sense. There was actually an issue with the game Anthem, if you guys remember that. Of course, man, that game is a disaster, and I don't know if it's ever gonna bounce back, but there was an issue with the game where it was tied to a certain cosmetic item players could unlock. So is that an issue with Red Dead Online as well? Is there like some piece of outfit or clothing that released that is causing issues with that? Seemingly unrelated. I can't imagine how that works together, but this game is so massive. What if something like that is the case? Maybe that's why, because Rockstar hasn't necessarily figured out the issue on there, and they see all their coding to do with animals, and they're like, well, everything's in order. Why isn't this stuff working? And they're just scratching their head just like us. So what if that is the case? They need to kind of scrub through everything, and man, I don't even want to think about that. Let's just say that, to say the least. But Jim Ruthless comes in and says, bug fixes, ownable properties, ownable and customizable wagons, and some new and exciting content that aren't just recycled GTA Online updates. Absolutely, bug fixes are a priority. The properties I'm definitely a fan of, and I think should be included with the game, but we need stuff to do with these properties. We need to play poker, we need to have horseshoes and other poker games like blackjack and dominoes and all those things that you could do in the story mode. These things need to be playable and doable at these properties themselves. Again, Jim touched on customization. If you guys aren't following Jim on YouTube, definitely go check him out. Jason followed up with him and said, I agree. Make the game playable and give us properties to own, maybe even somewhat customizable properties. I have over $65,000 saved for when this comes. That's the other thing. A lot of players have a lot of money in this game, and collectors making money really easy to get. Gold with the bounty hunter is really easy as long as you take 12 minutes on the mission, but there's really not a lot to spend this money on, and so we need a fix in that front as well. It's like, what are players gonna spend all this money on? Basically, I'm spending the rest of my money on getting every single color variant for every single article of clothing possible. That will add up, and I do not have enough money to buy all of it right now, but that is really the only thing left to do. I've owned all the pamphlets, all my ability cards are upgraded, I have all the weapons, I filled up my stable slots. I've definitely tried out each horse in the game. Even though I don't have enough stable slots for it, I have to keep discarding horses. Like, we just need more things to buy. GTA Online has those types of things to buy. We haven't reached that point in Red Dead Online, and I think we really got to speed up to get to that point as well. Moving on, Codmus says a studio that has the talent and manpower that Rockstar does should be able to deliver both bug fixes and content simultaneously. We need either a new role or some good role expansion soon. I've run out of things to do in online. Back to the content. More content is needed. It's been a very long time since this game has released, and I really think so far, at least in terms of my expectations with where Rockstar was going with GTA, I expected a lot more out of this game, and I don't think necessarily we should have expected less. I don't know how this game isn't necessarily keeping up to their previous game when they really didn't necessarily have a plan either. They knew that they wanted to make it a persistent online, but they didn't know it was going to be such a smashing success. This game, they knew that they needed to make a persistent online, and they wanted it to be a smashing success as well, and I feel like they're just not committing themselves fully by any means. Winchester Red Dead Online says, I think Red Dead needs to emancipate, have its own identity, too many similarities with GTA Online, the way Rockstar brings in content, bonuses, game mechanics. They should go more to draw ideas from the story mode of Red Dead than from GTA Online, the satchel, etc. And for my part, it's the year of its last chance. I was patient like many of us, and if Rockstar doesn't decide to wake up and give us a true experience, I uninstall Red Dead. Seeing this wasted potential makes me sad, and especially when I see that they have the means to give us something great. One update every 4 months with ridiculously light content, not very original, and a titanic amount of bugs is not beneficial for the game, and I really hope that we will be surprised this year. I think I'm not the only one lamented with the current state of Red Dead Online. I hear you. Absolutely. There's a lot of things, even though I don't necessarily want Red Dead to be a copy and paste GTA Online, I'd still want Rockstar to take notes from it in the amount of content they're bringing, in the quality content that they're bringing. The stuff that we get in Red Dead just seems like watered down hand-me-downs from GTA. It's the stuff that wouldn't have been cool enough to add to that game, so that they throw down something in this game. The trader role is like a copy and paste business from GTA, but just to show you the half step they take with the Red Dead Online trader role compared to a GTA Online business, this is just a silly example, but it speaks to how almost like cheap the Red Dead Online business is. GTA, you can name the business, you can customize every aspect of it. There's just a lot more variety in terms of the missions. With Red Dead, you can't even name your own business. This Crips Trading Company, while you're the muscle for the business, Crips is just plunging the barrel. It's silly. We need to move away from that. Ezekiel coming in to say more benefits for players over rank 100 or 200, extra customization, ability to purchase items for camp and the speakeasy, watch change on vets, change the color of your horse, or even a cat for the bar. Something, anything. That part really sticks with me. Something Rockstar. Anything Rockstar, please. But I do like what he said at the beginning too. High level rewards. This game is appealing so much to new players, but guess what? New players are logging into the game and they absolutely hate it because the game is in such a bad state, and so they just leave. But what about the players sticking with this game? Veteran players are 100% leaving the game, and it's sad to see that. A lot of people are sticking with it. The community is great, but people are still leaving nonetheless who have stuck with it since day one, month one, year one, whatever. Those people are leaving. We need those high level rewards. They got to stick and benefit veteran players. They need to stick with those fans. Rockstar needs to give stuff to the people who have been playing this game forever, but they just don't want to because they say, oh, they're sticking with the game anyway. They don't need anything. They don't need anything to keep them around. We don't need to bribe them in any way. And I think that's just poor thinking right there. Both sides of the spectrum should be getting benefits and bonuses in the game. Jowers97, another YouTuber, definitely check him out. He says, bug fixes as of right now, but replayability is a concern for me. Would love Rockstar creators so we're not waiting for Rockstar to make content. This way, players can make custom game modes. It'd also be nice if Rockstar rewarded high-level players with weekly content. You guys see the things here, the trends, bug fixes, high-level rewards for players, or rewards for high-level players, I mean. The other thing that Jowers has mentioned that no one else has is the content creator. That is a system and a feature in GTA that allows fans to make different showdown modes, or in GTA just PvP modes, or different car races and things like that. Even missions like contact missions, which would be comparable to something like stranger missions in Red Dead Online. There's a content creator in GTA that allows players to do that, and so why do we not even have that in Red Dead Online? Does it necessarily fit the serious theme and serious tone of the game? No, and maybe some fans would be upset, but I don't know why anyone would want to sacrifice more content that could come for that. Think of all the extra diversity and replayability that would come with the game if players had the control to make their own stranger missions, to make their own horse races, to make their own showdown modes, and they wouldn't be playing the same few pieces of each content like type and game mode over and over and over again. Absolutely, this game needs that. I've wanted that for a while too. Tron Basic says fixes, private lobbies, then content. Short, sweet, to the point. Top 3 things, absolutely. Leftover Pizza the Best Slice says invite-only sessions, dedicated servers, a different management team, Ubisoft attitude, and just a few that pop up. Because yes, invite-only sessions need to happen, dedicated servers. These things are messing with the camps, messing with the animals, and other features of the game where they break down. Private sessions would help. Anytime you're in a solo session, you know the game works as intended, and it actually works well, and you can have so much fun, and it's so refreshing. Private sessions are found in the game files. Rockstar either needs to enable them or officially add them to the game completely to make them active. We need these things. They can't be holding off from us any longer. So those are the responses I wanted to share, and I thought were diverse enough to add to this video to make it as comprehensive as possible. Rockstar needs to start taking serious action on this game, and although there is a lot more to do in-game compared to beta, where all you had to do was hunting, stranger missions, and daily challenges, now 50 times more bugs and glitches and 3 times less communication has come along with the content, and that is just not healthy for any type of game. It's Rockstar's company policy to be as silent and hands-off as possible, and I think that's a bad policy. Any passionate fan will agree as well that it's bad for the creators of the game as a whole to stand in silence. I don't care how big a company gets, you can still engage with your customers. Flat out, they're just not doing enough of that. Transparency and communication go a long way. And with that said, if any of this ever improves or turns around, you bet I will be praising that, because it's what I've wanted since day one. I want all players to enjoy this game and be excited for everything it has to offer, and it really stresses me out to think what this game could be but isn't right now. I'm always looking ahead to see the possibilities, and sometimes it just gets hard to constantly remind myself of those. But either way, this community is extremely blessed to be so passionate about Red Dead. Every single one of you guys watching right now who leaves likes on my videos, thank you. Every single one of you who engages and comments and leaves your thoughts in the comments section, you are amazing as well. That is our Red Dead Online community. These are the people who will always try and come back to the game and enjoy it and play it. Those people who are truly over the game and have moved on and are no longer watching my videos or Red Dead videos in general on a daily basis or consistent basis just aren't around. They've moved on, they're not watching these videos, so you won't see them in the comments. So for those who stick with the channel week after week when each weekly update since the launch of Moonshiners has seemingly gotten worse and worse, thank you. You make my job a hell of a lot easier, and I am super grateful for that. With that being said, that is where we're going to wrap up the video. I do want to turn the question over to you guys. What do you think Red Dead Online needs to succeed in 2020? Whatever it is on your mind, please let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you guys also want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on all 3 of those websites, and you can feel free to strike up a conversation or even ask me a question, but whatever it may be, you can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links, including my Discord, can be found in the description down below. Just a side note, if you're watching this video on Thursday, January 23rd, I will be live at 6 p.m. tonight. That is my consistent time that I go live on Twitch, 6 p.m. every single weekday. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.